The ancient Romans' construction of roads was an excellent form of architecture as they included creative design, high-quality construction, and systematic planning. The Roman roads were built for a variety of reasons, but the main reasons were the war and their economy. Since war was one of the empire's major enterprises, huge amounts of economic resources were dedicated to this end. Road building was a major part of these efforts. The first highways connected the capital, Rome, with those Italian towns that had been recently taken over or colonized by the Romans at the beginning of about 500 BC. As Rome developed from a city-state to an empire, it became necessary to build all-weather roads to conquer regions to consolidate the military gains. At the end of the Republican era, the expansion of roads had expanded to distant province that was the Southern Gaul. The Roman expansion had begun where it had been in places like Britain, North Africa, and the Middle East. The expansion kept growing, that the roads had been created in every country that was between Scotland and Iraq, and it continued until the empire borders was able to construct up to 1,500 miles of roads within Italy. One of the fundamental reasons that the roads had been constructed was that the army needed a way to transport with a huge amount of men. Rome had about 700,000 men to transport into the combat region, so they expanded and needed the construction of roads. The military had to control and administer the occupied territories, as well as to protect the empire borders. In 312 BC was when the first road was built, which was named Via Appia, known as the Queen of the Roads. The Via Appia road linked Rome with Brundisium, which was a gateway to the east. The Via Appia name came from the official who started to build the road. His name was Appius Claudius Cous. Then the road started to extend more to serve the Rhine-Danube regions and also headed to the north of Gaul and the Arabian Peninsula until extending to and from Africa. These extensions of the roads were the cause of the war, and Rome was overtaking to expand and build its roads. Over the time, Rome's roads stretched up to 50,000 miles. Its ancient Rome's paths was how people traveled to get to places from the road system occurred, and those paths were their roads. Over time, the Romans figured that those paths were difficult to travel through. The paths were dusty in the dry and muddy in the wet. The Romans began to build their official roads, so they built solid, useful, beautiful roads. The Romans referred to their roads as monuments, as they had designed them to look pretty. They were built to specific destinations so that the routes could be the shortest as they could possibly be made. That is why most roads were built straight stretches on hilly and mountainous areas. Roman engineers figured that if the roads were halfway up slopes and be near the sun sign of the mountain, then the hilly mountainous roads would make it easier for the road users. The adverse weather conditions wouldn't affect the people.